Hey everybody, what's going on? This is David getting ready to give a light stream on this beautiful afternoon, 1212 portal. And what can I say? There is a heaviness in the air, there's a lot going on, but in these times of, I guess, uncertainty is when we do stand to manifest the most. The earth of your dreams, the soil of your dreams is the most fertile during those times of uncertainty. And so we want to dream big, and Sagittarius season is upon us, this new moon in Sagittarius. The archer beckons us to aim for the stars. It doesn't matter how far the arrow actually flies, so long as you shoot towards the heavens. Um, I am very optimistic. However, I do live in Las Vegas, and this past week has kind of been very difficult as far as our community here has undergone a tragedy, and that tragedy is the mass shooting that happened at UNLV. And although I am a very fifth dimensional thinker, I am just constantly reminded of the gift that is life, that is so fragile in this day and age. So, for just a moment, let's go ahead and have some silence, and I will say just a moment. Okay, there is so much to get into today. Like I said, this is kind of a double whammy, that 1212 portal, new moon in Sagittarius, in the deep throes of the season of Sagittarius. And if you are a Sagittarius, um, yeah, this is your time. Break out those lemon bars, break out those contact lists, get your network together, and plan for a remarkable and amazing year of building and harvesting and just all together collaborating. Because that's really what Sagittarius is great for. Is they are that fire. All three signs of fire: Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. You will have Aries is more destructive fire, in the sense that it is, you know, the fires of war, the fires of destruction, the fires of conquest. Um, I will lay bare in this land that your ancestors once wrought. No, just kidding. Not to say that all Aries is like that, but it's that's the fire that they embody. It is the fire of conflict. I will break through. I will fight through this. I will prove myself. Leo fire is literally the sun. Like, it's combustible. It's energetic. It's life giving. It's giving. Leos are very much giving. Cousin Samantha Holland, shout out. Uh, the aspect of Sagittarius fire is that of like a campfire. It's community. It's getting together, roasting marshmallows. You know it's hot, but you don't play with it. It's sustainable fire. It's practical fire. It's the fire that will warm your house after a long day out in the cold field. It's healing. If you have a wound that is susceptible to infection, you'll cauterize it. That's just to the effect. It's gonna hurt, but this is for your best good. That's Sagittarius fire. Um, it's also the fire of storytelling. like I said, the campfire situation. It's somebody you can talk to. It's somebody that will share your experiences and give you not just insight but practicality, help you to baseline those. And that's really the season that we're in right now. Um, I'm a Capricorn, so I'm very much patiently waiting my turn. However, my sister is a Sagittarius, and one of my best associates friend, her name is Mitch. She's also a Sagittarius. My aunts, Virginia and my aunt Raquel, they are Sagittarius. Cousin Rachel, the list goes on and on. So just happy birthday to you all. Happy solar return. And let's get into today's reading. Um, these energies that are surrounding this portal is really what I want to focus in on because there's so much out there on the 1212 portal that you'll be saturated in it. If you found this video, you're already being saturated in. It's your time to manifest. That's every day, like when's Thanksgiving? It's every day, When do we celebrate the birth of Christ? It's every day. But particularly during this season, it is giving. Particularly during this portal time, it's giving. And we are going to move through these purposefully, but it will go quickly. So the first thing we're going to be tapping into is leaving sentiment behind. And that's kind of an energy that's been giving. It's the sentiment that's been, or it's an energy that's been giving to the effect of you don't want to burn bridges, you don't want to overstep boundaries, you want to respect everybody's space. However, there comes a time and a place, and how appropriate that I was talking about cauterizing the wounds, where that sentiment is no longer helping, it's hurting. So it's time to go a little bit into ourselves to harden ourselves, harden our words, and just say, I've given as much as I can in the way of empathy. I need to see your action because empathy is a double-edged sword and can easily become enabling. So we can be there for each other. We can definitely help each other up, but it's what do you do when you see that person that you helped up kind of, kick around dirt and be like, or be stuck in shell shock. I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm here. Like, you're here. Like, you know. So it's time to really set up boundaries with, not to say to just start kicking butt everybody needs to get in line. That's not where I'm coming from either. It's just time to start boundaries. So that's leaving sentiment behind. We are also at the end of being subconsciously driven. Now, in the last light stream, I did go into heavy detail about how acutely guided we are right now, and that is still very much. And I think this is kind of the pinnacle of that guidance from the universe to just say like, "Hey, I got you." In my own experience, this has been what's driven me beyond kind of my own madness into the enlightenment of my current state. I just have this feeling of peace. I have this feeling of assuredness. Do I know where it's all happening? Do I know when it's all happening? No, but I've gone through enough chasing my own tail to realize that's what I was doing and to make an actual plan of action and to execute that and to give myself daily disciplines and fall into line with letting the universe take me where it's going to lead me to. It's so important sometimes that we need to let go of the reins and allow the universe to take control because we can't always have control. I say it every time, right? You don't need the control all the time, all the time, all the time. And when we do lead a life to this end, it creates a universal boundary between us and our ascended guidance. We can't let in that, better tomorrow, that higher manifestation because we're holding the world in perfection as we see it. And our perfection is a far cry from that of the divine. And that's, I think, where I'll leave that being subconsciously driven. I really hope that you've been able to also let go of that need for control because if you have, then your next step is that manifestation. Not to say that, if you do need help letting go of that need for control, there's definitely all the guidance around you. Just take a deep breath, and you'll hear it in a song on the radio. You'll see it in an ad on TV. You know, there's just so many things. You'll see an animal that you don't see all the time come wandering in. I just dreamt of a frog, and then I found out there's this thing called a money frog. Just to put it in a very small box for you and give it to you. So definitely subconsciously driven has led us up to the pinnacle of this 1212 portal, and just all the more let it in. This artistic time in our life, have you been giving in to the artist? That's also an energy of this kind of like pinnacle of the year. And yes, it's the holidays, and you know, clap 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 for everybody who's in on that Christmas train. Lord knows we need it. It's time for giving and all that. But there's a time to also let your inner world breathe and express and communicate with the inside version of yourself. Not the one that you kind of give to everybody else and say, you know, I'm here, I'm present. It's when you're in deep in thought. Are you putting that down on a medium of some kind, be it paint, writing, um, drafting up, you know, a local benefit. These are all things to express yourself. I really get away from, in order to be artistic, you need to be talented with some kind of artistic medium. An artistic medium can be anything, and I do think that there's um, career oriented artists, there's financial oriented artists, there's people who just have a beautiful inclination towards their life path and what they do for a living. That is art. There's no other way to say it. There's engineers that are just absolute artists. There's um, teachers, and there's all kinds of manner of outside of what we normally consider to be art. I think that's my point. So recognize that you can have talents, um, and consider them to be artistic. And are you giving the benefit to that, and that you are practicing that art? Point made. Acting impulsively is also kind of coming to an end during this energetic season. We are, you know, not neurotic or manic, so to speak, but there's a lot going on. And so, yeah, you do want to have that drink or that nightcap with friends. You do want to go out and spend at the store, get some retail therapy in. The spending, however, is not to the effect of it's just mindless, it's pointless. If it's for your well being, it has a point. Now, if you're compromising your financial well being and the stability of your home, that's another point. So, I mean, just know that if it does go out, it will come back. That's the energy of money. That's kind of like money 101, is money is a fluid thing. When it goes, it also comes, and when it comes, it also goes. So you can't really attach to it. If it's sitting in your bank account, it's not growing. At least that's how I feel about it. Um, Self liberation is also coming into the wind here. That's across the board. We finally are feeling again that self liberation. So, what do I want to do that's right for me? How can I put myself first? Am I doing all of these activities to the end of a better life for me, or am I putting myself up on a cross because it's the right thing to do? Or if I am I leaving everybody to the wind because I don't want to deal with that anymore? Like, really just liberate yourself. That's the momentum that is currently in the air that's going to help to lead to self actualization. I didn't know that I needed to walk away from this to be where I need now. This next one is feeling content. This has more to do with the home aspect. If you're in a relationship, if you are just self healing and you are single right now, this is also for you. But just find yourself in a space that you have this contentment happening and you have this gratitude happening. And what happens when you find yourself in gratitude? You find yourself in alignment. And then when you find yourself in that alignment, you are a vessel for manifestation, receiving. You become a truth bringer, a light bringer. You become a knowledge seeker. You just have this whole transformation that starts with finding contentment, groundedness, and gratitude. Some other things that can happen, and this is starting today. We may feel that our goals are thwarted. Sorry, that's a hard word for me to say. Thwarted goals is also a theme that's happening starting today, and it can feel like, things are getting muddled and you're being like, caught up in the muddy mire. You can't get through. This is a lack of preparedness. This is a lack of thinking out of the box. Again, like I said, are you grounding yourself in gratitude, or are you holding on to control and you're wondering why things aren't moving forward because you're not letting it go. You can't let it become. So again, it's time for an evaluation. This kind of gets into this Mercury retrograde in Capricorn right in front of us. What does a retrograde mean? A retrograde, especially in Mercury, means to stop, look behind, and again, find the gratitude for what you've done and what you've accomplished. It's reviewing. It's a time for review. It's a time for receiving. Just simply having and being content. And I created this, and this is wonderful. It's a time for recovery. Okay, I really pushed myself that extra mile these last few months. I need to breathe. So again, like, I think why Mercury retrograde does get that bad rap is because as humans, we constantly want to be making progress. And Mercury retrograde just says, yeah, you need to review this, you need to review this, you need to review this. Don't start this yet because this, and this, they need to be reevaluated. Again, this is the universe stepping in to guide us, and are we open to that guidance? Moving on. Finding success. If thwarted goals is today, finding success comes this weekend. This is all energy. This is how it's happening and in the order of it. So by Saturday, you should find yourself on the other side of whatever it is that you feel is limiting you. And again, that limitation is something of your own mind's making. You are only as limited as you believe yourself to be. Again, if it's financial, you only have so much money to get your bills done. Well, you only have so much money today. There's always tomorrow. Go out there and make more of it. I don't have enough time. I have to. Okay, well, there's only so much time in a day. Tomorrow you'll have time for it. You see where I'm going with this? Like, no matter what the limitation is, you you are you are like the one who's executing those limitations, signing the contract of that limitation, and then making it into an obligation. So now you're obligated to the limits that you've created. Am I making sense? Am I coming through? um, Burn those. If there's a campfire of Sagittarius energy right in front of you. Burn those contracts. Like, there's no other way to say that eloquently. It doesn't really serve your purpose. So, moving on, we are also going to be broadening our horizons. Did you enroll in that new class? Did you start going back to the gym? Are you going to do it this time for the betterment of your body, or because you want the body, yada, yada? Like, it's time to broaden the scope. This is what I do, this is who I am. I'm taking a course right now in pelvic floor manual manipulation or pelvic floor massage. It's going to restructure an entire modality that I've done for the past 10 years plus. I'm so excited to unveil it, and I'm also using it as a way to bench new value within my practice. Again, broadening my horizons. I have to make it all make sense. And as a therapist, I love that everything that I've always learned, I'm always building on it. It's something that I can do freely, openly, And there's really always that broadening aspect. But no matter what you do, you should always be finding new, innovative ways to execute. Craving intensity, Venus and Scorpio. So this is like the energy of your ex messaging you at 3 a.m. and they haven't messaged you for 6 months, but ooh girl, I'm gonna I'm gonna hit him back up. I know I'm laughing because somebody's going through it right now. And definitely hit him back up. It's the craving of the intensity. So it's like it's already written in the stars that this is how you're going to feel. It's not to say if you're in a 10-year relationship that you need to go out there and cheat and cause drama, be toxic. It's saying that this is how you're feeling. You could, but the should always outweigh it, and it will get sticky if you do give in to that inclination. If you are toxic, guess what? Oh no, it's the repercussion of my own actions. Here again. But that being said, definitely just be with that. Again, it's a great time to implement it into the artistic process. So if you can find a way to create a medium for that intensity that you crave, I mean, you could become the next Danielle Steele. Who knows? Ease of expression. I love this. I love this. I love this. Because expressing ourselves should be easy, right? It should be easy to say how we feel and not have, you know, the mob there with pitchforks or what have you. It should be easy to relay a feeling and have the discourse between you and another person. This is how it's going to go. But it doesn't always happen to that end. Um, I just want to really go out of my way to say find that ease of access to your own expression. That's really what this Sagittarius fire is trying to heal. That's really what this portal is trying to open within you is express yourself for the love of God. Express yourself. You'll go mad. You'll go crazy. You'll feel like you've wasted the past 5 years if you can't find an arena that allows you to express yourself freely in your relationships, with your money, to like go out and go for a walk. So yes, with your health, with your body, you should be able to move freely in this vessel of reality that's surfing on oscillating molecules that make up your feet. Like we're here. This is experienced and it's happening in real time. We are the cutting edge. The only real moment is the moment, no matter when you're watching this. So again, it's are you expressing yourself? If you're around people or places or things that tell you calm down, be quiet, don't do that, you're embarrassing me, like those ain't your people. So find it where you get it, and be and do and live expressively, which is a huge thing. We're gonna get into some more of that later. I told you this is a long one today. Like, I looked at the list and I was like, oh wow, really, universe? uh, Feeling lighthearted, and I think I'm kind of just rolling with that right now. Very much, it ain't that serious. We are going through this huge upheaval. Life is changing. Things are reaching maximum critical mass. There's all of this tragedy and trauma, but I'm sorry, like, it's a tale as old as time. It's the dance of the universe. There will always be chaos to confront cosmos and cosmos to confront chaos. And there will always be that cylindrical or cyclical aspect to how we exist as human beings. So again, find your peace, find your space, broaden those horizons. It should feel good. We are on the ocean of Saturn and Pisces, giving direction now. We were no longer in retrograde. We're giving direction to what the world is going to be like, so it needs to feel good. Otherwise, you are signing up for your own slavery. You are signing up for your own shackles of existence because you said, you know what, I don't need to feel great about what I do and how I live. And now I've created a world with those as underwriting. This doesn't have to feel good as long as it makes me a check. Sound familiar? It's that what is that word I'm looking for? Um, Dreary or I don't even know. Sorry. But it's that dire of a situation. Like, it's that grim. You could be signing up for the next 10 years because you said, you know what, I'm going to settle for this when you had the potential for everything. And that's really what this Saturn in Pisces is. The universe says, I want to see what you're capable of. I want to see what you can vision and dream and be guided toward. So on the other side of it, when you're living that dream life in your dream car with your dream partner, and you got the dream bank account, you got the dream kids, or you don't have the dream kids, in your dream body after your dream transition. Okay, like live your dream. Like, I'm getting a download of that. Pretty Woman. What's your dream? Like, go for it. Why not? Why TF not? It's your time to shine. It's all of our time to shine. Again, Sagittarius, we'll bring it all the way back. Shoots the arrow not at the ground, shoots the arrow towards the heavens. So again, it's time. I swear, I just saw one of the cards and it's like, I don't want to even show you yet, but shoot towards the heavens. Remember that. Remember I just said that. um, Changing our roles. So again, it's like how do I begin moving from the life that I've settled, David? What's my step one from the life that I've agreed to that doesn't feel good? Change your role in it. Change your role and say, okay, I'm not being valued, so I need to change and set back. I need to draw it back. I need to draw these responsibilities back. Now, what's coming up is what if you have a dire responsibility? What if you're responsible for children? You can't dial that back. You can't. But what you can do, and this is something my mom used to do, is go lock herself in the bathroom for about 10, 15 minutes so that she could sit in there and meditate, think about whatever, listen to music. That was her time. So you can start changing your roles with as small as 15 minutes of your day. And you declare to and no matter what kind of chaos ensues in those 15 minutes, if one of your children should, knock on wood, break an actual leg in that 15-minute window, and I know kids are just that crazy these days, you would have at least taken that first step, and they would have learned a valuable lesson as well. I don't know what to tell you. Take some time for yourself and change how they treat you. This isn't who I am anymore is probably the greatest phrase I have ever learned because it stands true. I don't have to be this person or this version that you're comfortable with, that you can communicate with, that you have me limiting myself to be around because you need, this version of me so that you can feel comfortable. No. And teach your kids that. Mom or dad's going into the bathroom right now so that I can draw some boundaries with you, kiddo. Give me some space. I don't care what you do. I'll be back in 10 minutes. See what happens. Anyways, moving forward. Expressing your beliefs. What I tell you, there's a lot of expression going on right now. Expressing beliefs. And this isn't so much like quoting the word of God in the streets. It's more along the lines of expressing to yourself, this is what I believe. And this is the power of my belief. I will lead you there because I believe we will be led there. So I'm speaking to you because I believe these words I'm saying. And for me, that's enough. So for you, exercise expressing the belief in what you believe you believe. Do you believe? Cue the Cher song. I'm on one today. I swear. But again, this whole thing with expression right now is so vital in creating tomorrow's stage for expression for like that entire next arc of our life. You know, this next season 3 of humanity. It's so pivotal that people understand where we're coming from, and how can they understand where we're coming from if we're not understanding of our own journey as an expression of human life on a planet, on a rock, in the middle of nowhere, in the dead of space. What's your story? Or as my grandpa David used to say, what's your movie, man? Freedom of expression. So it's not just having your own beliefs to express. Again, among your peers and colleagues, associates, are you free? Do you feel free in saying, oh, yeah, this is what I believe, actually? And I think that's happening as a planet right now. There's all kinds of things in the media. This whole Middle East thing is, there's so much air of you're wrong if I'm right and I'm right if you're wrong. And already I feel that that statement is going all the way left in some people's mind and all the way right in others. This aspect of having the freedom of expression is so crucial. So if somebody's not giving you the freedom to fully be with your expression of your own beliefs, whether they find them right or wrong is kind of, it's not irrelevant. Like, their points are valid. You need to give everyone their validity. At the same respect, you yourself have your own scope of what you know and the knowledge that's at your disposal to make decisions. And if you don't have that knowledge, how can you be expected to have a point of stance on a given topic or issue? You know, it kind of goes back to like when I was talking to a friend about a certain minority group being targeted by another minority group who's also being targeted. And they were just like, well, how am I supposed to feel about that if, you know, this is what I feel? And I said, you know, you're my brother. And how you feel about that is how you feel about that. But how I feel about you is you're my brother. You know, like, and this is a friend that I've known for a long time, but I just told him, like, I don't care how you feel about that. Yeah, those are my people, but you're also my people. And I get to choose my people. You get to choose your people. It boils down to, it's not as simple as that. And if I am coming across in a way that is disregarding somebody's journey, especially if they are feeling the deep, deep, deep throes of heart hurt, because some of these topics to some of these divisions are that dire and that grim and that just, you know, but again, it's, I want to give you the space. I'm your people. I want to give you the space to freely express that. And so you should be looking for more of that in your surroundings and in your people, that you should be able to freely say, man, this, and this. Even some of my own family members. I may not see eye to eye with them, but I will hear them out, and I will let them get it all out. You know, so we should be doing more of that for each other. Uh, Freedom of expression, sense of purpose. So we have all this expression going on. And again, I think I said it in some key points. Why are we expressing ourselves so deeply and so adamantly? Is because we are finding new purpose. We are putting together the pieces of ourselves juxtaposed to the shattered versions of ourselves left in the wake of our own walking life. So we're saying, okay, well, I like that about that version of David. I like that about that version of David. We can keep that version. That may have been a little toxic, but that's fun. Let's keep that. You see where I'm going with this? Like, we are creating ourselves in real time, and it's so important that we are given the space to do that, and not everybody does, and that's why we make these quick decisions, and we end up settling for less than authenticity because we're given short notice, we're given um, no legs to stand on, so we have to make do with what we have. There's nothing wrong with that, but you should not be sacrificing your authenticity for short sighted decision making. I think that's all there is to say on that topic. Broadening our interests. So this is a time to kind of say, I'm going to try new things. There's really no other way to say that. And in pushing yourself to try new things, those once closed off, like I said, you'll find yourself broadening your own field of expression. So I guess that's also to kind of build on. It's not just on other people to allow us to express ourselves. It's also on us to try new things and to open up our own world more largely than we know it. And how do we know that we're doing that? We're going and we're learning about culture that isn't our own. We're learning how to respect culture that isn't our own. We are dining at restaurants from ethnicities that we haven't really. My world changed forever once I had a roti stuffed with potato, and my whole life I've been eating tortillas. Shout out to Anuja. Oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Though it's like, go out there and find it. It's all this world. We are just this small speck in the middle of space, but within us, there's so much compartmentalized that we all have each other to share with and share from, you know. And I think that so many of us would do so much good for ourselves if we chose to, not stop for pizza for the 11th time this year and maybe tried that Mediterranean place that sits right next to it that's owned by, actual Greek people. Or that, black owned fish place, soul food place, like what have you. Like, there's so much out there. So go throw yourself in it, and you'll find that it's not just food. I'm hungry. I love foreign movies. Like, I love the foreign art of like anime and stuff. I'm gonna go see The Boy and the Heron, and I'm so excited about it. So it's like there's so much to envelop ourselves in as far as variation. The spice of life is variety. So go out and find some of that this week. Good communication is also key. This is along the lines of, am I listening, but am I also being listened to? I'm hearing your needs, I'm hearing your worries, but are you hearing my feedback? This can be a very tug and pull situation or are you hitting against a brick wall? If the communication's not there, if you're not a good communicator, and you don't need to be speaking in order to communicate, side eye goes without saying, or a smile, or what have you, like body language, like you have all of this at your fingertips to get your point across. So again, this goes back into all of that need to express ourselves. learn how to express, become that good communicator so that you can more freely express yourself. That's just, these themes are coming up, that there's going to be an opportunity this week where you will have one on one with somebody and they are going to show you these new ways of communication. Intellectual recognition is also here, and these are more moving out um, of the week. Intellectual recognition, um, the fact that you've been so intellectually resilient these past few weeks is going to be recognized, and that your mind is so. This is gonna make me emotional. I'm saying it out loud, and it's like I'm feeling it too. You know that your mind is such a strong foundation for your dreams to be standing on, because it would have mentally ripped others apart where you are still holding it together. This intellectual recognition is due the course for all of the great things that you are about to achieve and all of the wonderful lives that you will change. Like all of the wonders that you will work into people's lives is going to be recognized in this coming week. Like you will have people be all the more gratuitous in your direction, and you will have all of the accolades coming to you if they are not already pouring in because of your intellectual resilience. Intellectual exploration. Find the new pathways as we kind of chart our way through Sagittarius into Capricorn. This is where that ascension happens. If Sagittarius is the healing fire, the fire that burns the forest clear, Sagittarius leaving that in the wake is Capricorn's new promise that it will once again grow from fire to earth and from earth to fire, the red earth. We are also intellectually precise going out of this week. So we are going to the smallest detail, accounting for the furthest, equations, and just really getting it all baseline for a functioning and prosperous tomorrow. I'm telling you, I'm speaking my own reality in so many more ways than I had anticipated. In these last three energetic um, frequencies of intellectual recognition, intellectual exploration, and intellectual precision, it's just, it very much kind of fills me with this glee that yes, you are doing those right things, David, and you are making the right moves. I mean, I can't get into it on here, but I have been through it. But here's the best part. I know, because I'm a fifth dimensional thinker, that there is not a soul out there that has not gone through it these past few months. We've all been going through it. And I think if you remember from my last stream, I barely had that intellectual resilience to even speak. I was in such a place of just fragileness, absolute fragileness. I think that's what I can kind of relay that back to. That version that I wasn't of myself, you'll see it's different from this version to the last stream I did. That part of me is gone. That's shattered. This is a whole new David that's like here speaking to you right now. I'm not that person anymore. You're gonna um, you're going to communicate with me more clearly. You're going to have boundaries with me, and I'm going to have boundaries with you. Like, this is David for tomorrow happening in real time. And I hope that as you see this in real time, you are thinking and transpiring in your own mind, okay, this is who I am today, and this is how the world and the people in it are going to respond to me from now on. Because I deserve it. And not even just deserve it, I've worked to get here, and there can be no other way. I love that. Let's get into some cards really quick, and I love that I pulled them before I got into all that. um, Again, Sagittarius, making your mark. We pull this card, the counterpoint. And we see these two women, locked in eyes, as one makes her mark towards the heavens. This duality, but in homogeneous femininity. When you have the vision and the assurance of that inner side of yourself, there's no there's no shooting to aim. You've already you're shooting from your subconscious. You're shooting with your eyes closed and hitting your mark in the bullseye. That's what this represents. It also represents love, from the feminine aspect. And so if you are in a relationship, this can also mean, moving as one together. You and your partner, you have this common vision for the future. And if you're single, this is a oneness for your mind and your heart as they move through into tomorrow. That you are moving as one right now. Your mind, your heart, your body, your soul, it's all one. I love this. It's going to pull from here, and I did pull up the card itself. It means partnerships, alliances, love, and symbiosis. Two fighters stand shoulder to shoulder, a timeless combination throughout history. The archer nocks an arrow, while the swordsman readies her blade. Together they represent the quintessence of mutual reliance, demonstrating that the true strength of a bond lies not just in individual capability, but in the shared determination to advance another's strength and fortify the other's weakness. Counterpoint. Together as one. You are solid. You are errorless. Because you make every step with intention. So beautiful. This next card reminds me of my Grandma Betty. Shout out to Grandma Betty. It's candy and dishes. Candy's in the bowl. Six of Cups. And this represents innocence, charity, carefree sweetness. Filled with golden candies, the Six of Cups reflects fondly on childhood memories, innocent times, and the release of responsibility. Candy symbolizes the simple pleasure of childhood times, sunlit days, chases through parks, carefree laughter, as joyful as they are, though candy is merely a treat and not true nourishment, a caution against the excesses of enjoying too much and accomplishing too little. A few candies fall on the floor, wasted from the abundant overfilling of the cups. And how funny we were talking about being lighthearted, feeling lightheartedness. And this card comes up. I mean, we talked about a lot. So, of course, we talked about feeling lighthearted. No, but specifically, feeling lighthearted is the representation of this. Of yes, this is all mind-bogglingly like transformative energy in the air, and it will never be the same again. You know, from who we were to what we're becoming. But remember, you're still here in the human experience. Find that lightheartedness. And that can be in nostalgia. Like for me, my lightheartedness, I love playing video games. I love being like jokingly like competitive. I just told my trainer last night that I have to roast my friends and I have to be roasted by my friends. Like that's how I find my balance, and that's how you know you're a true friend of mine. So our soul journey is here. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. a new earth. And we see this woman, she's ready. She's welcoming it in. This is the world that she's created from that place of feeling good and that place of just assured, I understand every aspect of every nature of every being that is here in creation. And I stand among them, not above them or below them. I stand among them. When we create these pockets of life where we have so many people that we know, and this is just purely fifth dimensional thinking, as we manifest them. We can manifest actual people. And that is to the end that you manifest all manner of being in the ocean that is your existence. You manifest the sharks and you manifest the dolphins. You also manifest the amoebas and the goldfish and the clownfish. And it's all here because you are currently dreaming upon it to exist. All right. You guys, it's an eventful day. It's an eventful year coming up. Like I said, I still don't have all the answers. I still feel my own inner shifts happening. But again, I'm grounding myself in daily discipline and creating as I go. And that's all I can do. And I want to extend that also to you, that is all you can do right now is create as you go. And I'm going to highly encourage you today to look at your life and ask yourself, what am I creating? And does it feel good? All right, you guys, happy 12/12 portal. Happy new moon in Sagittarius. And I just want to say again, happy birthday to all you Sagittariuses out there. You guys are killing it. Bye.